Warning: the following podcast is loosely based on facts. It has in no way been vetted, and the hosts rely primarily on the honor system and looks of disappointment to keep the guests truthful. The stories and content in this podcast do not reflect the beliefs or ideals of the hosts or anyone associated with it or them. This podcast and the material within is meant for comedy. We do not condone or endorse crime or criminal activity, nor support the people who engage in said activity. Any complaints or grievances caused by the disclosure of this content are not intentional and may be formally submitted to the suggestion box located at reception.
True criminals! We are back, and this is True Criminals, episode 203? 203? I don't even think this is 203. The first episode, second episode, that'd be 200, 201, 202. And actually 2. This is episode... Wait, no, this is episode 3. Don't look at me like that. Okay, so, yeah, this is True Criminals. If this is your first time with the podcast, here's all you need to know. We talk to regular people about their regular days and their everyday activities.
Yeah, try and get them to tell some stories that they usually don't go around sharing with everybody.
So we try to get them to admit some of their criminal activities. You know, usually we tell them that's the premise of what's going on and ask them if they have a funny or crazy story, or if they just want to get some stuff off their chest, tell us about their crimes. So we are working on our therapy licensees. But yeah, so that's the premise of the show. Talk to regular people.
Actually, I printed my license off just this morning. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Is it got like a Justice League emblem in the corner as well?
No, I used some tinfoil and the cap from a medicine bottle to notarize it.
Yeah. Yeah, the one time we once used a tinfoil and a cap from a medicine bottle to fake a notary stamp on free passes to get in to see the Hulk. The
Anglese, the Hulk, yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted my money back.
But, so yeah, that's the premise of the show. Talk to people. Talk to them about criminal activity. Some of it's really, really out there. Some of it's, some of it's just childhood games. But some of it's older boys influencing younger boys. But that's what we got. So yeah, if you're in for a ride, that's what we're doing. It's a comedy podcast and a true crime podcast, and we just try to joke about it. We know everybody has done some crazy shit, and we're going to talk about it.
And a lot of it's just hanging out and people not thinking they have stories until they're reminded of something. So
yeah. So sometimes we have to tell some of our criminal activity or just something embarrassing we did. Anyways, so a little bit of housekeeping. So emails. Eugene Merman says that he really enjoys that Eric host, but he could do without that Scott host. Well, thank you, Eugene Merman. Eugene.
Well, I have one from Eugene Levy, and it's basically mirrored to Gene's.
To Gene's?
Yeah, Gene Belcher.
Oh, yeah. I was going to try to think up a third Eugene, but I don't think there is one. But anyways, so how's your weekend, Scott?
My weekend has been phenomenal.
I was thinking we should go in a new direction with the show and just drop this whole True Criminals thing. So give me your top 3 ideas.
My top 3 ideas. Let's see. Fuck, you really put me on the spot here.
You could have just said yes and.
How about it's like The Bachelor, but it's already married couples seeing who wins a divorce.
Hello. I've never seen The Bachelor, so is there a bunch of?
Oh, you're missing out. Man, this is the worst intro ever.
No, I thought I don't know. There's something in there. So, anyways, yeah. So if we want to get back to the podcast, we are going to have a guest coming up. We talked to a person of interest. And, we were talking a little bit beforehand, one of the things that, and I'll say honestly, like when we started this, one of the big things that I had and that I was really worried about was that, I told you about this several times, was that I was kind of worried that people would look at us like we were assholes. I was like, man, I love the idea of this podcast. I think it's a brilliant idea. Yeah, everybody has done something. And, you and I sit around and talk and we have a good time and we laugh and I generally think we say funny stuff a lot of times. So it's fun.
I mean, just in like mutual friend groups, the words comedic geniuses get tossed around a lot. So, I mean,
I'm trying to think of something I know we've got our whole ShamWell bit from episode 1. Well, stupid. We knew it was being funny. We knew it was funny. We knew it was funny at the time. And so, yeah, it's really funny stuff. But at the same time, like, so yeah, I knew us sitting around talking about crimes would be fun, and talking to some of the people that we've heard tell radical stories would be fun too. But I was worried we'd sound like assholes, especially since I've committed a lot of crimes in my life. I'm a good person, but yeah, I do feel like I was worried about that. But that's not what I'm worried about anymore, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm worried that it comes across like we're promoting crime.
Yeah, definitely not promoting crime. Again, we do not condone any of the things told in these stories.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can certainly see what's wrong in the stories. There's plenty.
A lot of it, and it's kind of I guess it goes kind of two different ways because, there's stuff that I don't think was that bad until they actually start coming out of my mouth on camera. And I'm like, how shitty was that? And then on the same hand, like, because it was so long ago and I've like lived with it since it happened, it didn't seem like that big of a deal. So I think that's also why so many people think that they don't have stories to tell, is because it's something that they just had in their brains for so long that it doesn't seem like anything big.
Yeah, like, and I know I've said, like, I think I both said it. I threw out there a couple times, like, oh well, I grew up poor, and so that's why I did a bunch of stuff. And I like growing up poor is an excuse to go out there and do a bunch of shitty stuff.
But you can use it as an excuse if you are poor.
But I think about TV shows where I'm like, they show that trashy family down the street with a couch in their yard, and like all the kids are like fucking, stealing your bikes every weekend or whatever.
7-year-olds wearing diapers still.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, that was my family. No, it's like, I know we were that house growing up, and like half of the house was like, one of my mom's boyfriends trying to rebuild the house that we tore down. Like, oh yeah, we made the porch collapse, and rather because we couldn't get a repairman, he tried to build a new porch. It's made out of like tires and found
driftwood.
Yeah. So like, but so yeah, it's not really an excuse, but yes. We don't support the crimes that we're talking about here, and honestly, we're not vetting them either. I'm not going to say we're trusting the people to come in here and tell us the truth, but we're not vetting this shit. So if the police come knocking on the door, we have plausible deniability at least. But yeah, I just that was one of my things. I was worried that we are promoting crimes, or that we're like. I mean, I definitely would not say, I wouldn't put a Blue Lives Matter sticker on my car ever. I would never do that. I would fucking kill myself before I even looked at a sticker. No, but I would never put one on my car. But it's not like I'm saying, no, blue lives don't fucking matter. Fuck the. I have my opinions on what it means when you say blue lives matter and all lives matter and all that stuff, and I think it's kind of shitty. And so, yeah, I'm sure
it's completely shitty.
So, yeah,
there's no excuse for it.
I have a couple friends who actually are cops, and
I hate them.
Yeah, they're shitty friends. But yeah, at the same time, like, yeah, I do believe there's definitely some problems out there in our like justice system and things like that. So, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, I might chant fuck the police for fun, but I'm not out there saying like throw rocks at them or condoning violence toward them or anything like that.
Not tattooing it on the inside of my lip or anything.
Yeah, did we do that? Did we?
Did you forget that you have a tattoo on the inside of your lip?
I forget that all the time. It looks like garbage. I mean to go over it.
I think about it every time we make out.
I'm going to turn it into a Batman symbol eventually, but I always forget about it. But anyways, yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, yeah, that's all I had to say. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Still funny.
Yeah.
So, with that being said,
yeah, if you're listening to the show and you want to be on it, like, yeah, tell us a good story, but don't go out and make a new one.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm just thinking of how, like, I'm almost thinking like that would be funny though.
Yeah.
That would be funny. I heard your podcast, so I went out and I stabbed this guy in a really funny way though, dude. I said, "Auga!" and I stabbed him.
No, I've thought about calling DHS on you several times just so, like, you get off, we hit record and you're like, you're never gonna fucking guess what happened today.
So, yeah. It would be, don't go out and commit any crimes to be on the podcast. But yes, it would be funny though.
I'm getting some serious mixed signals here.
Oh yeah, we're not vetting anything.
Why do you keep winking at
me? I got something in my eye. I did that like I was crying. You just accused me of crying. I got something in my eye. I didn't do the right response for what you were trying to signal. So yeah, now that we've got that out of the way, it's time for the regular show. Anything else you want to get out? You want to tell? Have you committed any crimes this week?
This week? No, I did just go pay my fine for a traffic thing that just recently happened. I think I kind of told you about it.
Yeah.
I didn't make a complete stop at a stop sign. Got pulled over for it, got my ticket, and I was like, oh, that sucks. Put it in my jacket pocket, and so fast forward a year to about, 3 weeks ago, I get pulled over again for not making a complete stop at the same exact stop sign. So I didn't get a ticket for that, but I got a ticket for failure to appear. So I went to court for that and everything, and I hate the court system. It's a scam.
Yeah, no, it's too complicated for sure.
The court costs were more than either of the tickets. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I've mentioned it. I think I've mentioned on the podcast, at least I told you a bunch of times. I had my license suspended like multiple times over. Like I didn't even have a license after the first time they suspended it.
Yeah.
But then they suspended it on top of its suspension.
Yeah.
So it cost, when I finally got it back, I had like 5 license suspensions. It cost me over $1,000 to get my license back.
Right. Yeah, no, I got in trouble for weed at school in junior high and got my license. They said I couldn't get my license until I was 18 or whatever. So after that, I skipped a bunch of school and got a letter saying that I couldn't get my license till I was 18, and it wasn't a big deal because I already did it. I was like, joke's on you.
Well, crimes I've committed this week, I will tell you, every day I do commit the same crime.
Of passion.
My tags have been out on my vehicle since 2019. Since March of 2019. Okay. So, and actually on both, we have 2 vehicles and they've both been out since 2019. So, but I will give my wife a little bit of an excuse. For one, well, kind of excuse. She doesn't get a full pass here. For one, she never takes it down to get an inspection. She mostly just doesn't do it until I think she would do it. But she did break her ankle she had already been out for a couple months, and then she broke her ankle. And then by the time that was healed and she could drive again, COVID hit and they shut down the DMV and stuff. And so she couldn't get it then, and they won't let you renew it by mail after a certain amount of time has passed or online. So you have to do it in person, but they shut down the DMV. So that's why that one, and now the DMV I think is open again and she can do it, but it hasn't. My car, the car I drive most often, like I think the oil sensor's out, so it started making this ding noise like every time it moves.
Okay.
Like so if I come to a stop or I go from a stop, so it's like or if I turn or if I hit a bump, it's just like ding, 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 ding the whole time I'm driving. So like I need to get that fixed, but I just haven't. And I know it won't pass inspection, so I just have not got my registration. So every time I drive, it is illegal. So that's a crime I'm committing every day.
No. Could you tell that story again? It was really fun.
Well, no, I don't think I will.
Flashback to 2019.
Okay, so yes, those are the crimes I committed this week. Actually, I mean, I didn't really think that hard. I just, while you were talking, I was like, that's something I've done I'm always doing. I'll tell that story next.
I take next. You podcast. Know what? Another crime, and this might fall under accidental crimes. The Walmart near my home now has like pretty much nothing but self-checkout.
Oh yeah, I think they all do.
Okay, all of them have it then.
So, are you just trying to? I told you I was in a bad mood before we started this shit.
Yeah, no, I was like just kind of in a hurry and like grabbed a bunch of shit, and I'm really into puzzles. Not like jigsaw puzzles, like puzzle boxes.
Oh, are you?
You know what? I think we should shut this
down. Puzzles, huh?
But,
jigsaw puzzles?
No. But there was Hanayama, they do really cool little metal puzzles. Some of them are really cool. But I saw a new one on the shelf that looked really fun to try and solve. So threw it in the basket, went through self-checkout, and as I'm loading bags into the car, I realized that was in the bottom of the basket. So I definitely stole that.
Yeah, I've done that like 2 or 3 times. Realized something small. It happened with I don't know. I had some little Dremel tool blades.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a small flat package. It ended up and I'm not like I'm gonna go back inside and pay this $3.
Yeah.
But they actually lose more money to like minor shoplifting and stuff like that than they do to corporate executives embezzling.
Really?
Yeah. So it's actually, while you think, man, those fucking assholes, they stole $32 million from Walmart. They need to go to prison forever. But Walmart loses like $170 million a year on fucking little kids taking candy bars.
But they say I think probably Walmart makes up for it by paying their employees shit. So
who's the real criminal?
Yeah.
Who's the real criminal?
They're the number one employer, but also have the highest rate of government assistance amongst their employees.
It's a shitty world, which is why this podcast exists.
Yeah.
So I think we at least told, what do we got here? We're talking about a couple vehicle related things. And our guest has some vehicle related crimes.
Our guest is Rash.
from the hit Nintendo series Battletoads. Was it a series? I think it was just a one and done. But
I think there was another one. Yeah, because there was Battletoads versus something.
I don't think those count. But this
Fucking
isn't a video game podcast. We're not going to deep dive into Battletoads. Damn it, man! You're just wanting to be confrontational.
No.
So yeah, so Rash from Battletoads. Are you looking it up?
No.
I can see a light on your face.
I'm pregnant and glowing.
I mean, when I say series, I'm not counting like remakes and like spin-offs. When I think of a series, I think of like part 1, part 2, part 3, or something like that. So, but anyways, we are going to have a guest, Rash from Battletoads, and he is going to tell a couple stories that do involve, some driving related things. And so, anything else you want to add before we bring him on?
No, I don't. No.
All right. So yeah, we'll bring him on now.
I'm hitting record right now. Do you want to sync up?
Yeah, well, we can. First, we want to go over this with him just in case. I mean, Scott's already talked to you about it, so I assume, so you know.
Vaguely.
Vaguely. Did you say vaguely or vaguely?
Vaguely.
No, I heard you. I was just.
April Fool. April Fool.
I've been doing it all day.
You look so stupid right now.
Welcome to True Criminals. We've already discussed this with you a little bit, but this is a podcast where, we discuss with regular people some of the crimes they've committed. Yeah, we're going to stay anonymous. At this point, I think we decided to call you Rash from Battletoads, unless you want to go with Pimple. Are you not familiar with Battletoads?
I know what it is. Yeah, the old video game.
Yeah, it's the hardest video game ever made. No one's ever made it past level 2.
Oh, the bikes?
The bikes.
They're fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've ever played it. I just know that's supposed to be super hard.
Yeah.
We actually have a place called Arcadia here. It's all retro arcade games. And they have Battletoads on there, and it's like $5, and you get to play unlimited games. So I have gotten past the second level, but it was because I had unlimited lives.
Yeah. I mean, I rented it on Super Nintendo and still never. I mean, of course, you didn't have unlimited lives. You had to play out your 3 lives and start over at level 1 again.
Yeah.
So.
Man, Arcadia is dope. We don't have a place like that here. That place is sick.
Yeah.
Is it still open?
Yeah. They actually just expanded into the room next to them.
Oh, dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the gist of the podcast. We'll talk to you a bit. If you think of a big story you want to go into, something crazy that you have, definitely we'll go into
Absolutely. That. But before we get into that, we've gotten a couple of stories about underage drinking and stuff, and this isn't underage drinking. There's actually nothing illegal about it, but I do want you to tell about a video you have on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually going to play the audio real quick. Very short. So
was that Benny Hill music in the background?
Yeah.
Like Benny.
So you're the guy that says shit, and appears to be ready to stomp the face fire out with your foot.
Yeah. So that was our friend. I knew him since the 5th grade. Actually, he'd been a piece of shit the entire time I knew him. He got expelled from high school when I went to high school with him. I think twice. I can't remember why the second time, but the first time, I wasn't in the class. One of my good buddies was. He was drunk in class in like 3rd period, so it was like in the morning, like before lunch, completely wasted. So the teacher made my other buddy take him to the nurse's office, and in the very front of my school, it's like 2 stair flights. So it's like instead of being like a wraparound stairs, it's both of them at the same time. So he's on the 2nd floor, and he's trying to help walk him to the. He's like stumbling over. And as soon as he gets stairs, he's like, I got this, and takes one step and rolls all the way down to like there. And the stairs end right in front of the office, like all the like secretaries and like the principal's office is like right there. It's like this grand entryway in this like high school. It's like brand new high school, and that's the first time he got expelled. And then me and Scotty hung out with him quite a bit during like when we were like hanging out in restaurants. We worked with them, and he was always just sort of a fuck up, right?
Yeah. I remember that night, like he wasn't even really like invited there to the party.
Yeah.
And he was calling everybody because he went to a music festival with a girl, and she just fucking ditched him there. And he was stuck at like this empty field where there was previously a music festival with no ride. He was like multiple hours away.
Yeah, and then he was calling everyone. His brother was there too, and his brother wouldn't answer the phone. He's like, no, don't answer the phone. He's like fucked up. And then this one waitress that worked with us was like super sweet. Was like, oh yeah, he called us. Like, he's like, yeah, he just called. He's on his way. And we're like, what the fuck? Like, god damn it. He shows up like on drugs and already like fucked up.
Yeah, he's like crazy fucked up at this point, and we were playing darts, and he puts his hand in front of the dartboard and was like, throw a dart at my hand.
And
So a dart got thrown at his
liked
hand.
him that much, so everyone was like, yeah, I'll throw darts at your hand. Like, he wasn't the most liked guy that we worked with, by far.
And then my roommate at the time, he's like, oh no, oh god, and like runs and gets some rubbing alcohol for him to put on the puncture in his hand. And he's like, oh, look, more alcohol, and pretends to drink it, but the roommate had already taken the lid off, so he just dumps very flammable rubbing alcohol all over his face and chest.
And then he also was going over and we had a Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah.
And he was taking shots of that, but he was so drunk he was like throwing it at his face and just like getting it all over his face and shirt. So he was completely just covered with different kinds of alcohol. And then Scotty picked up his little fire point? What do they call them?
I don't know what they're actually, batons? Fire batons?
Batons or something like that. Yeah, and then we were like eating fire. I done it a couple of times with Scotty because I was over there all the time. And then like Scotty like blows fire, and then I tried to do it, and then he comes over and was like, "Let me try. This is my turn," and tries to do it, and takes it, and he grabs the baton like, and then like grabs the bottle of like lighter fluid and starts like almost like drinking it, and then Scotty's roommate.
Yeah, there were like
going,
multiple people. The roommate, he was like, "Nope, that's too much. That's too much. I've not done this, but I've watched John and Scotty do it."
Squeeze it like into like more than you're just supposed to like kind of spit it out, not like spray like it. Yeah. So he's almost like drinking it, and then he gets a pretty good flame going. He like blows it into the fire baton and gets this really good flame going. It goes pretty far. And then all of a sudden, the flame just leaps back at his face, and his shirt and face catch on fire. And then, like, if you watch the video, you can see, like, one of our friends just, like, look and, like, walk around the corner, like, fuck this. And then his brother, like, throws him on the ground, and I'm in the back, like, jumping up, screaming, almost, like, trying to stomp on his face. And his brother just starts slapping him as hard as he can in the face.
No, I'd seen the video. Although, like, when I heard you guys were spitting fireballs, I thought you were just like taking like Bacardi and blowing fireballs. I didn't know.
It was lighter fluid.
I didn't know you had circus equipment and shit.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he ended up getting he ended up having so he goes outside and it's like we get the fire out and you go outside and his face is all red and like we look up like what do we do for somebody with like their face was on fire and it was like one of the best things to do is put like shaving cream on their face.
Yeah, non-scented shaving cream. So I ran inside and I came back out with Drano. I was like, this will work, right? And nobody thought this shit was funny at all.
And then you run up and get shaving cream and it says like, just put it on, it'll soak out the heat, don't rub it in because the shaving cream actually has alcohol in it, it'll burn. So we put it on his face and we call like 911. While waiting for the ambulance, he just slaps his face and covers his face in the rubbing alcohol and like starts crying. He's like, we told you not to do that, dummy. And then he ended up getting, having bandages on his face, and somebody saw him out like a couple of days later, and they saw him Stormtrooper. You remember that?
I think it was like one of the managers too, because they like shut up and they're like, "Hey, I saw what's his name at Walmart. He was dressed up as a stormtrooper or something. Didn't even recognize him."
Well, I don't know what was going on, but I mean, there's something illegal there. You're definitely you just can't play with fire like that.
I mean, he was definitely on drugs, so there's that.
He was like completely wasted. We had like fake lightsabers earlier too, and we were like trying to like fight with him. Everyone was just like taking turns beating the shit out of him with lightsabers too, because he was so drunk he couldn't he had no coordination, or on whatever.
And like Rash said, we all worked together, and this other guy got employed there, and they started hanging out, and it was like the first time they hung out together. Everybody, it was just like unanimous, like, this is a terrible idea. And
like two of the worst people like we knew in the entire city were like, yeah.
Like I know, like one day they just decided not to go to work and went to Florida and shit. It was crazy, and so everybody kind of like made distance with those two. And I remember we were all out at a bar and they showed up together, and everybody's just like, "Oh fuck!" And they're like, "No, hey, we want to apologize to you guys. We know we've been big heads, but we're getting our shit together. Like, we don't want to be those people."
Turning over a new leaf.
Yeah, turning over a new leaf. Moderation is the key. And we're like, "Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good."
Then why are you guys at a bar? But okay.
Who were the people?
It was the guy who set his face on fire, and then another person who like kind of just started working there.
Who was an even bigger piece of shit, actually.
Yeah, I think he's in prison right now for selling coke.
I think so, or something like that.
But was he still in bandages when he came and turned over?
Oh no, this is like years later. It was like, a year later.
Yeah, but they gave us this big apology spiel, and like they're turning over a new leaf. Like they said, like quoted, turning over a new leaf. And we're like, yeah, that's good, way to go, guys. And then by the time everybody left the bar, we saw cops arresting them because they were like
peeing on the
there was a church next to us with a giant cross.
they were like both peeing on it together or something.
All right, well that was pretty good. I mean I don't like.
And then they moved in together and they got a dog together, and then like within like less than a month of them like moving in together and getting a dog, they both got arrested for selling drugs like immediately.
Well, as far as like confessing your crimes, no, I mean, I don't know what was going on at your party. I like got charged with just playing with fireworks when I was like 13. So I know you're not allowed to just like have pyrotechnics going around anywhere you want.
Right.
So. And that's still on my record.
How many run-ins with the cops have you had?
Me?
Yeah.
A couple. Not like most of my like run-ins with the cops. I feel like I get that like very like white male. That sounds shitty to say, but I have gotten that like I just get away with it because I'm white, straight male. Like that.
No, that sentence comes up a lot in this podcast.
I mean, so I was in like high school when the first time I ran into high school. Me and my buddies were like 18 or something. So we had gotten alcohol from my buddy's older brother, and we gave him like $60, and he got us like a bottle of tequila or something like that, and like a box of like Franzia. And I went out later looked up, and the bottle of tequila or the bottle of like whatever he got us was like $10, and the Franzia was like $10. We were like, yeah, like maybe we gave him more than that, like 60. It was a lot of money, and we got like, oh yeah, we got so much alcohol, and like later on, I was like, no, he ripped us the fuck off.
It wasn't even a box of Franzia.
It was like not the big box, but like the smaller box.
Oh.
Not like the 5-liter, but like the 3-liter one or something like that.
Franzia.
Yeah, we were at this like we went out to this like lake and we're drinking at this like pavilion because we were idiots. I don't know why we just didn't drink in one of my friends' like garages or something. But yeah, we were out there and the cops showed up and then like just came up and told us to pour it all out and like let us drive off. They made us pour it all out. It was like one of like the most defeated I've ever been because it took us like so long to actually get the alcohol. It was like one of the first times we had ever gotten alcohol, and it took us so long. It just made us pour it out in front of him. He was like, "All right, now don't do it again." We're like, "Okay."
Were you having to squeeze the Franzia like a bagpipe?
Yeah, he made us squeeze the Franzia bag out.
It took so long. You guys are lucky he didn't get you a full bag.
Yeah.
When my bag of Franzia gets low, I blow in it and then puff it up, and then that causes that last bit to shoot out.
And then I'm trying to think. I got pulled over a couple times when I was like drinking, but I never blew over a point oh whatever. And then one time I told, like, the guy was like, he was like, I don't know how drunk you are. He's like, you live right around the street. He was like, you can just walk home. And he didn't like breathalyze me or anything. And I probably would have gotten arrested, but he just like let me walk home. My house was like, I don't know, like I probably would have gotten arrested for a DWI. I guess I was just lucky because he pulled me over in the parking lot of the Harps next to where the grocery store next to where I lived. And then one time it was like snowing and my car got stuck in the snow and I was drunk and I got my car stuck in the snow. So I started walking down like one of the main roads, like a 5-lane road in the middle. I couldn't walk in the side because the snow was too deep and I couldn't walk where the cars were because I was afraid of getting hit. So I just walked in the middle because there was a little bit of snow and not too icy. And he just pulled up and picked me up and he let me sit in the driver's seat too, which I don't think you're supposed to let people sit in the driver's seat.
On his lap?
No, yeah, that's right, in the passenger seat. Yeah, I was sitting in his lap. It was one of those kind of rides.
I didn't even put that.
He was like, "Hey, do me a favor, and I'll let you off." One of those. No. He let me sit in the passenger seat, and like didn't even question it. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got my car stuck in the snow." I was like, "I'm just walking home." He's like, "Oh, hop in."
Okay, so
okay,
I got a warm seat for you right here.
That story bothers me a little bit because I got pulled over by the cops while sober walking, and they were like, "What are you doing?" Blah blah blah, like harassing me and shit in the middle of the night. And I was like, "Oh, I'm walking down to the store to grab some milk," and I was walking like 3 blocks to grab milk, and he was like, "Oh, well, get inside." And then I was like, "Man, it's cold out here. Can you give me a ride down there?" And he was like, "We're not a taxi," and then he drove off like an asshole.
Really?
Well, I don't have any paint swatches to like show you why there was a difference, but you're brown.
Yeah, I mean, I can see myself in the monitor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Granting, my lighting's not as good as either of you, but I think more light will just make it more evident. So, if you
that's about it, though. Yeah.
If you just want to hold for a minute, we're going to take a moment for our sponsor. So, in Beaver Mound, Wisconsin, head detective Mario Van Peebles has gone missing, leaving a gap in the mid-sized suburbs police force and its ability to finally close in on the series of home invasions that have been plaguing the city. Was Detective Van Peebles getting too close? It's up to 2 small detectives to show what they've got and try to fill the void left by Van Peebles' absence. Can they handle it? One thing is for sure, these tiny dicks have a big gap to fill. Brought to you by Tiny Dicks, new movie from New Line Cinema. Here's the, so I got an image for you. Tiny Dicks. That's actually me and Scott dressed up as Tiny Dicks.
I was like, I kind of zoned out at the beginning, and I started listening, and I was like, wait, what the? I saw Scotty laughing, and then I was like, wait.
Oh, my face is so warm right now. Okay, so what about situations that cops weren't involved but probably should have?
So these are the times the cops busted you. Let me ask you this. These are just simple stuff. You downloaded illegal music, you downloaded video games. Are you paying for all those Kingdom Hearts?
I paid for all the Kingdom Hearts. I paid for all the Kingdom Hearts games, but yeah, I had LimeWire. Like, that's all I got my music from was back in the day with LimeWire.
All the kids had LimeWire.
You do have a lot of drunk driving in your past that you didn't get busted for.
Is there one specific time you're thinking of?
Man, there's one I'm thinking of right now.
There's one? Were you there? Did it involve Taco Bell?
It did not.
Oh, no.
I think it did involve Taco Bell. Oh wait, well, are you talking about the one where I flipped my Jeep? Or is that something else to go over?
No, yeah, let's go with that one, man. I don't know what that story is.
Okay, so I was like 19, and me and my friend had this pavilion, another pavilion, down at same group of friends, down at like the bowl, and we would like had like the whole land to ourselves. Like nobody was out there. We just go out there and get just like as drunk as we could, play music, and there were all these dirt roads, and like nobody was out there. Like there was like private property that is like family's friend owned or something. And so like we would go like drunk driving, like just like wheel around like the fields. We had like I had a Jeep and my friend had like what are those Toyota, like the 4Runners or whatever, one of those, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And with these like 4-wheel drive cars, and we just like tear ass down these like dirt roads. And then I guess it was like Sunday morning, like we were gonna leave Monday, and it was like Sunday morning, and I'd been drinking all weekend straight. I guess I woke up and I was like, yeah, let's go. We literally just called it drunk driving.
Like that was the name of the game?
We weren't even clever with it. We're just like, we're gonna go drive around these dirt roads drunk. And nobody wanted to go with me. I was like, well, fuck that. So I like went around and was hauling ass, and I vaguely remember like just like flying, and I hit this big rock. Yeah, so I hit this big rock, and I flipped my Jeep. It was my mom's Jeep that I'd borrowed too. It wasn't even my Jeep. And I flipped it over on its side. And then, I had to like run back to my friends and like tell them I like wrecked my car. And it was like, we had come in there in like both of those vehicles. So like we had to figure out how we were going to get home, because I had to tow the Jeep to like a scrapyard.
So you totaled it?
Yeah, it was totaled.
Okay.
My mom, it actually ended up running. We just replaced 2 of the tires, and my mom made me buy it back from her for $750. And she got a brand new like Fiat or something weird like that. But yeah, she was like, no, you're buying this back for me. Like, and I had to drive that car around for years. I replaced both the doors.
With the black door?
With the green doors.
Green doors, yeah.
Remember that car?
I do, yeah.
Did she know how it was wrecked?
Yeah. I mean, she could assume.
I mean, that's the vehicle we survived the harsh winters of Colorado in, right?
Yeah, that's the same vehicle. The one that had like like the back window was like a trash bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Scotty bought a ticket up to Colorado and decided not to get a hotel room. And it was like, remember at one point it was like -13.
Yeah.
Outside, and we were just sitting outside this gas station, and I didn't have the heat on.
Yeah, we periodically like wake up and turn the car on for a minute, and had to keep moving to different sides of the building depending on where the wind was blowing from. Okay, can you think of any other vehicles you've totaled while drunk?
One story about totaling a vehicle.
Was it an Audi? It was a Mercedes.
It was a rally car.
Oh yeah, the rally car. Okay, yeah,
So you
Volkswagen.
Like, so you were confused on.
I was just fucking with Scotty. I know what he was talking about. I knew he was gonna bring this up. So we were like out at we'd been out all night pretty much, and we were like gonna go home, like go back to his place and play some board game or something. And we stopped by this bar, and our buddy Roger was bartending, and there was like this bachelorette party that was there, and they'd ordered all these shots. And we walked in, and Roger was like, "Hey, they didn't drink any of these shots. Like, you guys want them?" And there was like 10 shots of like Fireball or something. So we drank like all the shots of Fireball, and then we decided to like go back to his house, because I think like we weren't bad before.
Yeah.
We weren't like that bad, and then the Fireball set us over, and then we stopped by the Taco Bell on the way home. And like in the Taco Bell ride, we like started talking about. He was like shifting. I was like, I haven't driven like a standard since I like learned to drive really. I was like, really haven't driven that one. He's like, oh, it's not easy. He's like, you want to give it a try? So we go across the street into this. It's this stadium for like the baseball stadium for like this. It's like the overflow parking. It's just giant parking lot. And Scotty's like, yeah, it's a rally car. Like he can take it up and get super fast in it. Like look how fast it can go. So he's driving around the parking lot, going around all the medians and stuff. That is like these green medians. And then he's like, okay, cool, yeah, you want to take over? So I get into like first, second, third, and I'm like screeching the tires around this parking lot. And in the very middle, there was one that was the same color as the rest of the pavement. And I guess I like drunkenly hit it. I guess you couldn't see it, and I hit it, and the car launched like 20 feet. Like it was like 20 feet from where I hit to like, because I was going pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, like we could see where the tires landed.
Yeah, like 20 feet away. It was like where you could see where the oil pan had ripped off where it landed more. Like there was just a big splotch of oil, and then like an oil leak around the parking lot, and then.
What was the thing that you hit? I mean, you described.
It was like a curb, but it was like a curb.
Okay.
There was like a raised level in the very middle of the stadium. It was like a curb.
Like in parking lots where they have just like grass patches or whatever. Okay. Except it wasn't grass; it was just cement.
Okay, so like a little island, like a little cement.
Yeah, a little island in the very middle, but it was the same color. And like I was drunk, and it was like 4 a.m. or something like that. And
Okay, were you
Then,
you were in the middle of a turn when you launched, or you just were driving straight?
I think I drove straight at it. I think I just drove straight at it, and I was like in like fourth or fifth gear too. Like I was like screeching the tires around these turns.
Yeah,
Right,
he was
like,
doing
it's
a really
rally
good
car.
job.
You can take it as fast as you want, and it won't like it's fine. It's the same color as the rally car. And then so we get out of the car, and we're like fucking pissed off.
Like all the airbags deployed.
Oh, all the airbags deployed. We get out, and there's just a big thing of oil on the ground, and
we smelled gas. We were like, we should get out.
So we ran across the parking lot, and then
I don't know if we should talk about the next part.
It makes me feel bad. I feel bad about this
Yeah,
part.
no, it's like, I mean, we can tell it right now, but
honestly,
we're probably going to edit out.
You
can edit this part out.
You should feel bad about a lot of the parts, though. I mean, honestly, you should feel bad about a lot of the parts. I get it's the middle of the night. Wait, was it even the middle of the night? I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, it was morning.
It was like 4 a.m.
Yeah, it could have been noon.
We had stayed after hours at the bar, and then we went and got Taco Bell, and then ate it in the parking lot, and then did all this.
Oh, yeah, okay. Started at the bar. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, I lost track. Could have been midday. The overflow parking's full of people. You guys are rallying around.
And then what's fucked up is there's always cops over there, too. There's always cops. And we were, like, screeching the tires and making, like, a lot of noise.
I was, like screaming out of the window. And...
flashing everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we walk across the parking lot, and some poor college kid had parked his scooter at the he had parked his scooter at the baseball stadium, and I feel bad because it's
yeah, I feel like a complete shitbag over this.
Oh yeah, like this was because it was like I wasn't fucking over some rich kid. It was like some poor college kid with like some like 50cc scooter he had parked there. And me and Scotty were like, fuck yeah. And so we start like, we kicked it over. We were like wasted and we were pissed about the car. So we kicked it over and then like picked it up and we're like, let's take it with us. So we took it with us down. There was like railroad tracks and we both pushed it down the railroad tracks for like half a mile. And we got to this creek and we threw it over the bridge into the creek. Which I know I'm laughing, but it.
Yeah, no, I wish I could take it back. I really do.
That's one of the. If I could take that's one of the few things I'm like, yeah, that was shitty. That was shitty.
Well,
we're
going to assume that this happened more than 10 years ago. I just wasn't like last month or anything.
No, it was a while ago.
And this is where the story kind of like, it hit a low point. Definitely
did. But
it comes back up when we get home.
Because so. Scotty tattooed for a while. I don't know if you mentioned that on here.
Yeah, I think I mentioned.
But yeah, he tattooed for a while. So I'd been talking about Scott. I'd never had a tattoo, and I'd been talking about Scotty about getting a tattoo, and I wanted one on my rib cage. And he was like, "Man, that's one of the hardest places to get a tattoo. It's gonna really hurt. What if I just give you some dry lines without ink?" And so I'm like, "Yeah, like you can dry line. Like we're pretty drunk. I think we went back and did a few more shots." So he's drunk tattooing me, and I'm like wasted. I'm like, yeah, whatever. He's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna draw a line, and I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, yeah, that didn't really hurt. He's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna draw a little shape now, and so he does that. I'm like, yeah, that felt fine. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. I was like, I think I can do this. He's like, yeah, look at it, and he drew a little dick on me, but it was like very like graphic, like veiny, like balls. Like the head was pretty. I've been ejaculating too. I can't remember.
Did you just say the head was pretty?
Yeah.
Is that how you?
Scotty knows how to draw a dick.
You have a scale of dick heads, and like pretty is one of them.
I mean, there is a scale. There has to be. I don't like.
No, I've seen some weird dick heads.
Not in person, but.
Hey, you guys are both uncircumcised.
Oh, really?
Hey.
Nice.
That's why you were in Colorado with him. Scott's over circumcised, so he used to keep his peen inside mine for the winter.
Yeah, that really helped. We kind of had to cut open the back. That was the turning point in the night. I was like, hey Scott, just let me dock you really quick. No, it's weird. It's like, dude, nobody will know. It's just us. Nobody will know.
People knew about it when we did it.
Yeah, so I was like, haha, a dick. It'll heal up. There was no ink. It's fine. But actually, like, fairly tan. So it stayed there for years.
Years, yeah, years until he finally did a tattoo there. But yeah, it was there for like 2 or 3 years. I feel like
Oh.
it was kind of
like
small, so you
a
couldn't like
pinker
see it.
dick.
Yeah, it was kind of. I scar really easily too. I don't know why, but I always scar really easily. But it wasn't like if you like you have to like really like get up close to be able to see it because it was like about like an inch long. But it, was that just?
Did anybody see it, and then you had to explain it to them?
I don't think anybody noticed it, but I think I did show a couple people just because I don't know. So I was like, it's funny. I'm gonna get it covered up. I was like, it's gonna go away. It's funny.
That's how he picked up ladies.
You showed
Hey,
everyone
want
at
to see my
work.
dick?
I know that after like the day after it happened, you showed everyone at work. I'm sure. You made me show everyone at work.
I can't imagine me not doing that.
I think everyone, like, I showed up to work and was like, John, let me see your dick. Johnny told me about your dick.
But there was also a time, this actually reminds me of your brother, me and this other girl, we were like, everybody was drunk. We were at my house, kid. And we found out that Rash was uncircumcised and talked him into showing us his dick. And it was like, as soon as he pulled it out, we were like, ah, gross, and ran off.
Is that a real story?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my brother pulled his out too for some reason. Sorry, no, yeah, no, she was like, ew, it's so small, and then like ran off. That's what she said.
Well, I mean, they were good stories. I don't know how or what to say about the moped or whatever it was. I'm glad I got to hear it.
You at least want to hear it.
Yeah, we'll have to think on whether or not that.
Is this actually a sting? Are you guys like, is this what we've been looking for, Scotty? You're like, man, if you could just tell us where that scooter went, just sell it out to us, we'll let you off.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as we're right here in like clearly a part that's going to be cut out, I have to tell this story. I were living together at this point, and we had a small get together, and both of his younger brothers showed up.
Oh,
And everybody's really drunk and shit, and for some reason, his brothers started like ragging on him about something.
They like teamed up. And they got to me because like,
Yeah,
they know
yeah.
me.
And
Super flustered.
yeah, he brushes shit off really easy, and it's not a big deal or anything. But this night, like you could tell it got to him, and then just like out of nowhere, he was like, "Yeah, why don't you guys tell everybody why Mom stopped making you take a bath together?"
And they both turned bright red, like immediately. They were both just like, and then they both like got up and like left to go to other rooms. And I think one of them came out with a beer like 5 minutes later. And then our other roommate, he was like, "So you gonna tell us or nah, man?" And I think
Everybody's interested.
Well, I mean, as long as your name is Rash, I don't know why we couldn't share that one.
I guess so. I'm fine with it. That one's not about me, so.
Yeah, and it's not like unless you. I mean, this isn't going to blow up next week, and yeah, we're on the top 20 charts, and your brothers are like, "Oh, check out this new podcast." Is that you? Well, that's not going to happen.
Right,
Wait, are they talking about us?
No, it's some guy named Rash.
Rash.
Who
Rash.
Scott keeps calling him for some reason.
Yeah, I can. Okay, Rash. It is illegal to falsely call 911.
Oh yeah, it is. It's pretty illegal to falsely call 911. I know where this one's going. I remember this one. Do you just go ahead and say it? Tell it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
I
Yeah.
love this.
So our buddy phone was like completely broken. Like the screen didn't work, and the only way he could communicate it with it was to be like, "Hey Siri," or like talk to Siri.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, that's weird." I was like, "Let me see. I know phones. I think I can fix it." And like I took it, and I'm like, "Hey Siri, call 911." And I just take his phone and I throw it. Like, and we lived in this like place with this huge field, and I throw it across this field, and he has to like go look for it in the dark.
See, We're ranging, and that's a very minor crime, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids do it all the time.
Kids do it all the time.
I remember when the mall had payphones, I would, because you didn't have to put a dime in to call 911. I would just, I'd hit 911, drop the phone, and walk off.
I don't remember that. You don't have to have the payphones that have dimes in them. You don't have to pay for them.
What? You don't even remember payphones?
I remember payphones. I don't remember not having to pay for them.
Well, they had it set up to where, like, if there was an emergency, you didn't have to dig for pocket change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
That makes sense. I never tried that one.
So 911 went through without a dime.
Yeah, 911 will work from your cell phone even if your service is cut off.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty nifty.
So even if his service was off, you could have said, "Hey Siri, call 911," and thrown it. It still would have called 911.
Well, he got the phone back too, and it was like ringing, and he couldn't stop it because he couldn't hang up because he couldn't touch the screen.
Yeah. He could have powered it down, right? They still had power buttons.
I guess, but when you power it off, you have to still slide at the top to.
Not if you hold the button.
What happened?
Yeah, hold it down long enough. It'll shit.
Okay, that's what happened. I guess you can force reset it, right?
I don't know. I can't even make my computer record. I've just been pretending this whole time. This isn't even a podcast.
This is a pre-recorded message.
I just wanted you guys to meet.
April Fools. We just had you talk for an hour.
It's already been an hour?
It's been almost an hour.
Damn, it feels like it's only been 15 minutes.
Do you have a filter on your Zoom right now to make you have a nose ring, or is?
Oh no, I actually have a nose ring.
Okay.
Did it look fake?
It did.
Huh?
It kept catching a weird light. I was like, "Has he got a filter on?" Are you even wearing headphones?
No. I'm actually not wearing clothes. The whole thing's a filter. Completely stark-ass naked right now.
Oh, so I got this idea. I may have told Scott about it already. I call it Fruit of the Zoom, and it's a filter that you add onto your Zoom so that if you do accidentally walk in front of the camera naked, it automatically puts underwear.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
If your roommates walking around naked, or
Yeah, anything. So.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Toobin, who was caught on CNN, it would have looked like he was just adjusting himself.
I don't think I saw that one, but I feel like I get.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I just heard about it, but I wanted to see it. So before we run, I mean, we can stop the recording and whatnot, but yeah, just want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man, I had fun.
Yeah, it's not as scary as everybody seems to think it is. Everybody we talk to thinks, yeah, they really think we're gonna bust them or something. I'm not sure what they think. But no, it's not.
That's what my girlfriend thought. She's like, "You're gonna go in there and tell me legal things you did? Is it like?" She's like, "You're gonna end up in jail," and I'm like, "No, I don't think so." But I don't.
Dude, though,
I was excited.
We definitely want you to come back and tell the story.
What's up?
If you do get arrested after this, we definitely want you to return as a guest to tell us about it.
Okay, yeah. As long as it's interesting.
The story will be, I went on this podcast. We cut it to the podcast that got you arrested. But
yeah, I had fun. I was excited. I wasn't nervous about it. I was like, yeah, this seems like fun. I've never been on a podcast before.
Yeah, it was fun, definitely. We will let you know when things come out. Obviously, it's up to you if you want to be like, "Hey, everybody, listen to me on this episode." But
Yeah, no, I'm not that bashful about it. Honestly, Scotty knows me pretty well. I don't have that much.
Yeah, we just talked about him pulling his dick out because we asked him to. So, yeah, it was a blast.
And yeah, if you think of anything else, anything crazy happens, you're always welcome back.
For sure.
You already have a name. So.
All right, that was Rash. Awesome for him to come back. It was Double Dragon, Battletoads and Double Dragon.
Oh. You looked that up. But yeah, I do want to thank Rash for coming on. So definitely some good stuff there. Oh, I do want to apologize too. I know, we're doing this over Zoom, so there's definitely going to be a little audio glitch here and there. So it's the pandemic world we live in. It's a lot harder to do in-person interviews and things like that. But
I'm sure most people are very accustomed to it by now.
Yeah. So, but definitely good stuff. I enjoyed the stories, and I laughed. I definitely laughed at them, and I know we talked about it a little bit in our opening that we don't condone all the actions of our guests. Anything that we say or do, we obviously don't recommend you try at home, and we obviously are not in any way saying that any of it's a good idea. But, I can't help but laugh at some of that stuff. I did feel, the whole thing with the bike.
Man, don't do that. Do not do that. That was a very terrible thing. And something else I forgot to add on in the interview is he did replace my car. It was a Jetta that he totaled, and he did give me another Jetta, but it was a really shitty one. And
I don't know. So he was talking about how white he sounded or looked. I mean, you heard it. You guys heard him. He sounded white as hell. Right?
Oh, he's crazy white.
And he talked about his white privilege. And then you're sitting here, and then he told a story about how his mom made him pay her back for the car that he totaled. He paid you back for the car he totaled. And I'm like,
yeah. He's not some asshole just going around busting up people's shit and like leaving him with it.
No, what I'm taking away from it is, man, if I totaled someone's car, I'd have to just be really sorry. I couldn't buy. I'd never.
They would definitely get a apology card.
Yeah. I'm not saying that he's better than me because he.
Okay. Well, maybe you should let me go on with it. You might change your mind about it because this car actually kind of got me into. I didn't get in trouble, but I had to deal some shit with the cops because of this car. But he replaced mine with it. Again, much shittier version. Kind of stopped while I was driving. It just stopped working. So it got left on the side of the road and towed the next day or that night because it was pretty late at night. But when he gave me the car, there was no key fob for it. So I couldn't turn off any sort of alarm with it. So every time I started the car, every time I opened one of the doors, every time I turned the car off, the alarm went off. And it was ridiculous. So I did.
Did he give it to you with like the papers, like it was legal?
Yeah.
You certainly paused a little bit there.
Well, I'm trying to think back now. I did. It was so shitty that it didn't run for long.
Okay.
So I don't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there were papers. Maybe not. Maybe it's technically still his car. Maybe he stole it. I don't know. He was just like, hey, here's a car. But so I had to look up on YouTube how to do this, but got under the steering column and took out the alarm system. And the intentions were to eventually get a key fob, put that back in, everything. Key fobs are expensive.
Yeah.
So I just tossed it in my back seat. Well, it broke down, got towed and shit, and had it for such a short amount of time that I hadn't even got tags for it yet. So apparently the police searched the car when it was on the side of the road or whatever. And I started getting calls from a detective basically claiming that I'd stolen the car because like all the security shit was ripped out in the back seat.
Wow. So a little false accusation there. Maybe you're not so bad after all. So
I'm not.
So he was sitting, and I almost said this while we were talking to him. He was sitting there talking about how he did say how he gets away. He feels like he gets away with a lot more because he's white, And it's like the cops give him rides home when they catch him out there driving drunk and stuff like that. And I almost said it because, not only did he sound like really white and looked really white, but you're white. Yeah. And like, I mean, the cops didn't shoot you that one time, but I almost said,
like, well, yeah, you're white, but you also don't look like a complete dirtbag, so.
And another thing I thought about while we were talking to him was that in that situation, you were the older boy. So we can excuse some of his actions.
Yeah, because I was the one talking into pulling his dick out.
Oh my God. I forgot about that part of it. Oh my God. We might have edited that part out.
Oh, no. Well.
But anyways,
that'll be on our bonus content for
Patreon. Oh man. So it was a fun time, and we definitely appreciate Rash for coming on out and recording the show with us. If you like the show, tell your friends, like and subscribe. 5 stars, everything else.
If you've got those stories to tell, hit us up. Email us at truecriminalsjailpod@gmail.com, all lowercase.
All right. And we definitely look forward to hearing from you, and it's been fun. I am Eric.
And I'm Scotty.
This was True Criminals.
True Criminals.
Pew, 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 pew.
Did it involve Taco Bell?
I'm pregnant and glowing.
Every day I do commit the same crime
of passion.
My tags have been out on my vehicle since 2019.
Yeah, we just talked about him pulling his dick out because we asked him to.